Hello, everybody. Kenise here, your coach. So, today we're going to talk about how your relationship is different from mine. Your relationship is different from your parents' relationship. Your relationship is different from your friend's relationship. So, it's going to be hard for you to listen to a video and get the exact advice that you need for your exact situation without a coach knowing more of the pathology of your relationship, what the dynamic is. I have some friends who they have date nights with their partner every week. For my relationship, that is not something that works for me because sometimes I go in hibernation mode where I work from home and the only other places I like going to is to see my family and going to the grocery store. So finding out how do you want to participate in your relationship. Okay, your friend washes her boyfriend or her husband's clothes. Would that be something that works for you? Would that be something that you would even want to do? And watch what you're listening to, because even though sometimes you are just listening to people who talk about relationships, it almost plants a fertile seed inside of you. And it makes you think like, oh, I should be doing this in my relationship too. Okay, her man pays for all her bills and I should be getting that too. But you don't know the dynamics of someone else's relationships. You don't know what is going on behind closed doors. You need to pay attention to what is a deep desire of your heart for your relationship. For me, it was a deep desire of my heart for me to get married with a small gold band. For other people, it's a deep desire for them to get married with a large rock, a large diamond. For me, I had diamonds my whole life. So, um, what's it to me? Let me make sure I don't have any red lipstick on my lips. But yes, so the dynamics, how do you want to participate in your relationship? How do you want to show up? What are the desires that you have? I know a lot of us, we are listening to different dating coaches. We are listening to just a lot of people talk about things like what's going on or how relationship dynamics should be, but it's up to you to know how your relationship dynamic should be. It's not up to anyone else. It's how you want to participate in your relationship. How do you, sorry, but yes, it's up to you. So meaning like, what type of things do you want your relationship dynamic to be like? Let me tell you guys, I do have a book club. We read books every month about dating and relationships. And I think that was part of the reason why some of us, our relationships fail, because we don't know enough information about relationships. And I'm not saying that every book will be solid, it will be correct, but every book will give you some new knowledge and you can take what you need and you can leave what you don't need. So I just want to throw that out there. And let's get back to the subject. So your relationship is different from my relationship, your friend's relationship, your mom's relationships. And the reason why I say this is because different seasons require different things. When me and my husband first started dating, our season was a season of we're having a lot of fun every single day. And then my husband started school, and then I started putting more energy into my gifts. And so my husband would cook all the time. And now we've switched to a point where I like being at home and I like cooking. So in this season, I cook. So for someone to compare their life to mine, or compare their life, if I was their friend or I was their cousin or I was their mom, sister, cousin, friend, auntie, uncle, it will be kind of hard, because does your husband do school full time? And is he also a full time? Does he work full time? So you have to look at these different situations and find out, would that even work for me? You have to look at these situations and find out, do I have debt? Do I have really large desires to have a yacht? Like I don't have large desires to buy a yacht. Yeah, a boat is cool. Me and my husband have a jet ski, but what is What is your dynamic? What do you really want? It's going to be less about what your friends want, less about your friend can tell you her desires of what she wants in a relationship. And sometimes we can take these desires and we can make them into ours. But no, it was just meant to be a conversation, and it wasn't meant to be a seed planted. So you want to be very careful with the things that you're hearing from different coaches and different people, because some people are in the 10th year, the 15th year of their relationship. And trust me, their 15th year looks nothing like their first year. I'm in my first year of a relationship with my husband, and I think I am well qualified to talk about relationships because I'm a product of many relationships, meaning I've experienced family members have different types of relationships, also married numerous times, married one time, and also with myself getting married in 8 months, having my clients get married very quickly within 2 years, having their first boyfriends, and all of that jazz. So I just want to bring to your attention that sometimes you could be comparing I think there's like a meme or a quote that goes around, and it's not my quote, so I don't know who I'm getting it from, but don't compare your 5th year to someone's first year, because there's no way. How can someone in college that's in their 4th year of school, how can they compare their 4th year to your first year? Does that make any sense? Someone who's in medical school, someone who's in residency, comparing their residency to someone taking the MCAT. It's uncomparable. So we can talk about people that are on a different level, and we can be really happy with them, and we can want to aspire to get to that level, or we could want to aspire, but make sure you check in and make sure it's something that you actually want. Like for me, I actually wanted to be married. I actually wanted to, as someone would say, get on a man's program. I wanted that protection. Some people, they only want a child out of a situation. Some people don't want deep partnership with another human being. They rather just have deep partnership with their child. I want the whole thing. So meaning deep partnership with my husband. And also when we do introduce a child into the world, that dynamic. So I wanted something legal. Some people get married where, there's no state involved, and I respect everyone's different situation. But for my coaching and for my life, I believe in God. I believe in marriage. I believe in the state legally being an abounding legal situation with someone, because that's what makes me feel secure. For some people, they can feel secure being texted all day, being called all day. For my situation, if my husband texts me all day and calls me all day, I'm definitely not going to get anything done. Definitely not. Because I already think about him. We are women. We take things really personal. So we will bring up our man's name in any conversation we can have. We will bring it up in any area of oh, my husband this. I'm already at that point, and I already know what times of the day I'm going to see my husband. We have a routine. We have a set schedule. And, for someone, they could say, oh no, I need my husband to text me and call me on day. I need my husband to be wickedly obsessed with me. I know in my relationship, seasons will come where we're like this, and seasons have been there when we have been like that. But sometimes I am in a mode where I am ready to focus all my energy on my gifts. So also look at the season that you're in. What season of your life are you in? Are you in a season where, you're desiring marriage and you believe you can be married, or maybe you don't believe you can be married? What's coming up? So I want you to analyze that and ask yourself, what season am I in? And just say it out loud. I'm in a season where I want to be alone, where I have this apartment or I have this roommate, and the main thing I'm focused on is maybe my my cycling class. Another thing that I want you to ask yourself is, who are you comparing yourself to? Are you comparing your 5th year to someone else's 1st year? Are you comparing yourself? What's getting in the way for you? So are you desiring a relationship, but for some reason there's some blockage? Really analyze yourself. Are you in a relationship, but now you're expecting all these things and you want him to be a completely different person than who he was when you met him? And so that question, I have to say, what inner work are you doing for yourself? I know for me, before I was married, my expenses were very low. So meaning I think my rent was about $7 something. I think it was like $700 something. I had got an older car, like not super older, but I had an older car. And my car was like, I think right before I met my husband, I think I paid off my car. I didn't have any college debt. So it's going to be hard for someone who is walking into a relationship with debt to compare their life of debt, their life of, oh my God, I live in this huge house by myself and my mortgage is $5,000. It's going to be hard for them to compare themselves to me, because guess what? We were in two total opposite spots. It was easy for me to transition to sharing my gifts because I didn't have any expenses. And when I say any expenses, I just mean like my personal expenses. If I'm not including my hair or my extensions or my lashes, my personal expenses don't even exceed $100. So your life could look completely different than mine. Some people's personal expenses surpass way over $200. Some people have the Benz. The Benz is, it's $1,000 a month or $1,200 or $1,400 a month. Some people have all these things that they've accumulated that they're happy with. So it's going to be hard for them to compare themselves to me. So you want to often ask yourself, who are you comparing yourself to and why? So just a question for you. Take your time and think, do you compare yourself to someone else's? We have Christine and we have KM. Let's see what they're saying in the live chat. I'm in a season of my life to meet and live happily ever after. I don't believe in comparing myself. However, I so take inspiration from others. Absolutely. I want to show up. Sorry, guys, my sound. But yes, that is amazing. Taking inspiration, but also knowing that we can hear things and then we can want it for ourselves. And we can ask ourselves, why isn't this working for me? Why can't I be like this? But you have to honor yourself and honor where you are in life. And if that means you need to take a nap for 3 days, you need to call off, do what you have to do. Kristen says, I'm definitely trying to cut my expenses down. Yeah, for me, cutting my expenses down was pretty hard because I could have, before I met my husband, I had already paid off my car, so I didn't need a new car. But most people, they meet their husband, they have a lease or other things, or maybe they have just returned their lease, so it's up to their husband to get them another car. For me, it was like my car could last another 3 years or so. And also, as I think about my life and the way that I cut my expenses down, I have had friends who have always wanted to live in the best places. So meaning like the best cities. I lived in a city where I really wanted to meet my husband. I was very like, I'm moving here to meet my husband. So I don't care if I have to have the smallest studio apartment. I am here for one mission. I'm not here to have a stainless steel refrigerator. I'm not here to have all of the amenities. I don't need a pool. I don't need a swimming pool. Like, I can leave out of my apartment and I can go to someone else's building who has all the amenities, because people share anyway. But some people, they have to live in the best places. And that just, for me, my best just look different from other people's best. Your best could be not a stainless steel refrigerator, but you end up meeting your husband. Someone else's best could be they have stainless steel appliances, stainless steel everything, but they end up meeting a child's father and they don't get married. They have a child out of wedlock. For me, it was just about the latter. So one thing that I do want to bring to your attention is, yes, a means to an end. So one thing I do want to bring to your attention is, while you are in whatever season you're in, define it. And think of life like the sun is always going to come out and the seasons are always going to change. I'm here in Michigan. I don't know where you guys are at. If you want to tell me where you're at, drop it in the comments. But I'm in Michigan. About 2 days ago, we had a snowstorm, right? They told us we were going to get 14 inches. We got those 14, or we got like 12 or 5 inches. But I say this to say, right now, it's sunny outside. So seasons are going to change. You're not always going to be in a season where you're maybe cutting down your expenses or you have to live in a studio apartment, because it's so insane that once I did meet my husband, the condo that he picked to live in would have been somewhere that I would have picked to live in myself. So sometimes when we're manifesting, we think that we are the ones that have to manifest the house and buy the house. No, it doesn't always have to be like that. Sometimes, someone can gift us a car. Is your mind open for those miracles, or are you always looking at someone else's miracles and being like, oh, how did she get that house? You don't know how that person got that house. You don't know if she had to put every person in her family's name on that house, so you don't know if in someone else's relationship, they just had a super big fight last night. We don't really know. So I really just want you to really pay attention to your heart, and really, yes, I definitely know where Lathrop Village is. I live in Michigan, so we're definitely on the same page. But Texas, yes, I am loving Texas lately. I don't mean to say but I'm on a roll right now. So I just want to make sure that you guys, and guys, I have a book club. We are meeting. It's in the description, but you should definitely join, because you'll be on a Zoom with me and it'll be like very personal. Our first book club was last month and it was so much fun. We meet one time a week. It's at the last Sunday of every month. Oh, not one time a week. I'm sorry. One time a month. The group comes with a free ebook, and it's really fun. And soon I'll be doing just going really personal, and I'll talk a lot about my journey to meeting my husband, some things I really kind of don't want to share on YouTube. So definitely check out the group and join if possible, because I think you will get a lot of value. And if you really saw my life, because in 2020, the beginning, January, I didn't even know my husband. I didn't know I was going to get married. I had no clue. Fast forward to we met in September. So I forget what number of the month, what number of the year that is. You know what I'm trying to say. I forget. So I think it might be the 7th? The 6th, I don't know. So anyways, no, the 6th is June, July, August. Oh wait, so we didn't meet until the 9th month. So I didn't meet him until the 9th month of January of 2020. So we met the 9th month. So guys, that is me moving through life through January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. That's literally me moving through 9 months. And I didn't meet my husband until I think the 26th of September. So I want you to have hope that every day your life can change. I did meet my husband on a dating app. And I don't want you to think that you have to meet your husband on a dating app, because I also had no problem meeting guys in person. But I will say that I just like the apps. And my husband wasn't the first guy that I went on a date with. And then we just clicked. And oh my God, I'm so in love with the first person I met on this app. I did have to go through a lot of vetting and a lot of dates. Was I doing dates every week of those 9 months? Absolutely not. There were times where I took breaks. There were times where, I gave it some space. There were times where maybe I swiped on people, never went out with them, and then they messaged me like 2 weeks later and said, "Hey, Kenise." So I would definitely say to really look at your season and to know that every season is going to be full of miracles, but you have to focus on yourself and filling up your cup. Because even before filling up others' cups, I fill up my cup. And sometimes that could look like me taking a nap. Sometimes it can look really different. It depends on the day. It depends on the time. You have to really get to know yourself. Anything coming up? I'll definitely check out the book club if you're comfortable sharing which app. We met on Bumble. Yes, we met on Bumble. I actually pay to see who liked me on Bumble, so I wouldn't have to go through all of the swiping. So yes, I paid to see who liked me, and then I would just go through who liked me, and I would look and see. And a lot had to do with my pictures that I posted, because online dating is very visual. I definitely like to fix my clients their dating profiles, and I love that they're always open to that. And yeah, I definitely, looking back at everything I did, it was a lot of strategy, and it wasn't strategy like ingenuineness, because sometimes we can think of strategy and we can say, oh, I'm being ingenuine. No, there wasn't anything ingenuine about it. I was attracted to my husband because he had the same job for years, which kind of showed me that he was dedicated to something. And I use a lot of things to vet. I won't talk about it on this specific video, but because this one is just about how your relationship is going to be different from your friends, your parents, and it's up to you to make your own relationship the way that you need to make it. How do you want to participate in your relationship? Do you have a desire? Like some women at the beginning of the relationship, they're the cooks. And then years in, they stop liking to cook. And that's okay, because the husband understands, she cooked for 10 years. So it's all about knowing what season are you in and how do you want to participate in a relationship. Yeah, the book club is really, really fun. It's just like a sacred space. And the book that we're going to be reading this month, or the book that's in the book club this month, we'll be meeting the last Sunday of this month. The book that we're reading this month is a book that I studied for 3 years. I literally studied the same book for 3 years. I know a lot of us, we will kind of see books and we will read it and then put it away, or we'll read a book and then we'll put it away. And then sometimes we will just read a chapter of a book. But with some books, you need to be all in. And the book that we're reading this month is called How to Marry Rich. And I think it was a life changer for me. It was a life changer for a lot of my clients. The first book was amazing. Oh yes, Mallory, the first book was amazing. It was so good. That, and I also send you guys an outline, which I'll be working on. Oh, Mallory, I can't wait for our coaching soon. But yeah, I know we see a lot of people, just to get back to the subject, I know we see a lot of people and we think, oh my God, they have the best relationship. But we don't know that. So I want you to really I want you to really know how you want to participate in relationships. I want you to really know how you want to participate in relationships. How do you want to participate in relationships? Do you want to show up and cook and clean, and like, how do you want to show up? That's going to be a major key, because we can't keep comparing ourselves to everyone's relationship. We have to know what do we want? So for me, when I met my husband, I knew what I wanted. I wanted to be married, and it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm meeting him and now I want to be married. No, this was a desire. I didn't want to wait until I was like 70 and I had messed up with every guy that I met. So I invested in coaching. I invested in books. I invested in, I also joined a lot of meetup groups. So it wasn't like an actual meetup group, but it was like a networking event that I would go to, and I became friends with everyone. And there was men there and there were women there. And a lot of those people are still my friends on Facebook. A lot of those men, they own like franchises and all types of different things. So I would say also, if you're wanting to date someone, join different like networking or meetup events. Maybe, there's things in your area where people are meeting up for like Bitcoin events. It doesn't have to always be these online dating apps, because as you know, we've all seen the Tinder swindler. And that is a scary one. But yes, ladies. So I just want to close out and just leave you guys with some final words, that don't compare your first year to someone else's fifth year, and really look at the season that you're in. Maybe someone else is in the season where they have a luxury car, they have a luxury house, but always know that that wasn't always a season that they were in. They had to go through the seasons just the way, same thing with the weather. It's not going to be like, I live in Michigan, so it's not going to be warm all year long here. Even in LA, it gets chilly. Even in Alaska, sometimes there's like, 40 days of darkness, and then it's over. So I want you to really look at what season are you in. All right, ladies, I had so much fun. I'm gonna try to come back tomorrow, but oh my God, life really lifes. I'm really lifing. Life be lifing. I heard my friend say that the other day, and I thought that was so funny. All right, guys, love you guys so much, and thank you guys for popping in.